Hello. When you're choosing your career, one of the important factors is what will be the outcome? What are the prospects of this career? What will I do after I complete my academic journey in line towards that career? So basically, the most common question asked was, what job am I going to get? Will I get a job? Of course, there are various other ways to make a career, not just job as a mode of work. You could do business, you could become an entrepreneur, and many other things. But will I get a job? This will be the most commonly asked question. So, who will recruit you? Who are those organizations or employers who recruit this specific skill set? And what industry or what sector is that? This information becomes very crucial, isn't it? In this video, we shall discuss about the potential employers or organizations who recruit talented individuals. We will list out some of the prominent organizations across the globe who actively recruit these specific skill sets, some of these specializations which are relevant to your career. And this video is all about knowing about those prospective employers or companies or organizations who can get you a job, who can hire you. And these organizations can be ranging from renowned research institutions to cutting edge technology companies. So my friends, before you take your next step, read about these companies, understand the prospects with these companies, go through their websites, and then understand what they do, how they do, and what kind of roles they offer. So in specific, in this video, we are going to discuss about organizations or employers who are going to recruit skill set with geology background or any specific specialization in geology. So let's get going, my friends. So let's take a look at the organizations that often recruit employees with geology specializations. If you are a student with botany, geology, and in other video we have talked about especially with the botany specializations, biology specializations. Now here is the video with geology specialization. If you are very fascinated about the geology and you are wanting to look at what are those potential organizations or employers who would recruit you, we talked about the very essential question of what is the prospect, what will be the outcome if I specialize in this field. So here is a list that we're going to look at in this video. First, let's get started with worldwide institutions or organizations. So the first one to look at is geological parks and aquariums. Like there are a lot of zoos or geological parks across the world, and some prominent ones are San Diego Zoo and London Zoo, Singapore Zoo, and many other places. And please don't mind if I have not brought up all that list, but I brought in only a handful of the geological parks across the world, and primarily they are the ones who employ geologists for animal care, conservation, research, and education. And again, I keep repeating, this is just an indicative list, not a comprehensive, exhaustive list, I must say. And the next one we have is wildlife conservation NGOs, the non-government organizations, the World Wildlife Fund, Wildlife Conservation Society, Conservation International, and International Union for Conservation and Nature. These institutions hire geologists for biodiversity conservation, habitat protection, and policy advocacy. So a lot of opportunities, my dear friends. And of course, it cannot the list cannot go without research institutions like Max Planck Institute of and Smithsonian Institution, Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, and Australian Museum. These institutions, these research institutions, conduct research on various aspects of geology, and these would quite often require geologists for research positions. And depending on your academic credential, your capability, you will have a potential opportunity. And of course, there are government agencies like US Fish and Wildlife Service, National Park Service, Natural Resources Conservation Service, and Environmental Protection Agency. So primarily for the regulatory, conservation planning, wildlife management, these are some of the government agencies who would look for. And not only that, we also have some consulting firms who are quite popular in the field of zoology. AECOM, Environmental Resource Management, and Tetra Tech. These institutions, these firms would need geologists for impact assessment, habitat surveys, and ecological monitoring. There's a lot of work to do in the field of zoology as well. We cannot undermine it, and the list has got some of the pharmaceutical and biotechnology companies as well who are involved in drug discovery, bioprospecting, and natural product research. It's only matter, do they have that specific segment or a subset of a division in these companies, pharmaceutical and biotechnology companies. Please, just giving an idea, this video will serve you with an idea to understand what are the prospective companies or employers or firms or institutions who would potentially employ individuals with geology background. But eventually you have to do your due diligence based on your location, your preference, your academic background, and so on and so forth. And like as usual, the education and academia is the universities and colleges worldwide. They offer faculty positions and research positions for geologists. And it could be in many specializations, many departments: biology, ecology, environmental science, and wildlife biology. And that's a set of a list of organizations around the world. Now let's look at what do we have from India. Of course, the first one goes with Geological Survey of India. They conduct research on the fauna of India and hires geologists for field services, taxonomy, and biodiversity conservation projects. A lot of opportunities with GEDSI. And the next one is Wildlife Institute of India. They conduct research and training on wildlife conservation, and they need geologists as well for capacity building, project surveys, and a lot of other programs. And we also have Indian Council for Agricultural Research, ICAR, and this is the national prominence institution, such as the National Institute of Animal Nutrition and Physiology and National Dairy Research Institution. They employ geologists for research in animal physiology, nutrition, and genetics. If you have to protect that habitat, it's important to understand the physiology, nutrition, and genetics as well. So this is one of the institutions that to look out for in that segment. And we also have National Center for Biological Sciences. It is a research institute under the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. Again, Tata Institute, I'm sure you would have seen this in these biology, physics, and chemistry in many areas. They conduct research in biology, including animal behavior, ecology, and evolution as well. And the forest departments, especially, every state and central forest departments employ geologists for wildlife management, conservation planning, and ecological research. This is again depending on your academic credential and qualifications. And we also have these environmental NGOs like Wildlife Trust of India, Wildlife SOS, Center for Wildlife Studies. They hire geologists for conservation, field research, and community outreach programs. Quite a few opportunities, my dear friends. And of course, last but not least, aquariums and zoos, institutions like the National Geological Park, Anna Zoological Park, and various other private aquariums employ geologists for animal care, education, and conservation programs. Of course, as I keep saying across these videos, this list will give you, this video will serve you with an indicative list of the potential employers or organizations or research labs or technology companies. Eventually, it is your due diligence depending on your academic preferences, depending on your location preference and career aspirations. Do your due diligence and eventually make your career decision, my dear friends. And I hope that serves better to you. Thank you.